Welcome. Today we're going to make double crust bread, and you got it, and you got soul. And I know you can do it. Let's do it. Alright, so we're going to make double crusted, healthy wheat bread. We're going to make it with flax, steel cut oats, brown rice, a little bit of olive oil. It's going to be beautiful. Alright, let's go. Let's start off with I don't measure this, but for those that you do measure, I started off with 3 cups of water. There's 2 cups in here, 1 cup in here just in case we need more. And let's go ahead and start off with some flour. Here's what the steel cut oats look like. And we're going to start off with around 1.5 cups of flour. So each of these are a 1/2 cup. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to put in 1.5 cups of organic whole wheat flour. This is Bob's Red Mill, my unofficial sponsor. 1.5 cups. Okay, so now we got 3 cups of flour in there and some water. Let's get it going. The reason I stir it now is because it's mostly water, and it gets a good chance for the gluten to be activated. The water's warm to the touch. This is a quick whole wheat bread. It's going to take maybe 3 hours, but the dough is going to do most of the work. So as you see, we're just stirring it up. Add a little more water to make it a wet batter. We like to work with a wet batter because it's whole wheat bread. Whole wheat absorbs water throughout the whole process of rising. So wetter is better. Let's go with that. Now I already blend this up because it's noisy, but what we did is we did a 1/2 cup of oats and a 1/2 cup of brown rice. So that's a full cup right there. We're also going to do a rough grind on some flax. I like flax, it's healthy. Let's do a cup of flax. It's going to add a lot of texture and color. We're just going to pulse it. Now we have some milled flax. Nice. Okay. So again, we have a very rough, wet dough here. Doesn't matter if it spills over, because that's where it's going anyways. So let's just get going. Now we're going to add some more wet ingredients. This is starter dough. It's just sugar, water, yeast, and flour. You let it set for a few days and it starts to get sourdough. But it adds a lot of body and texture to the flavor. And that's why we use it. Okay. I'm also adding extra yeast because we're going to cook this in less than 3 hours. So that's probably around a tablespoon. Sounds like a lot, but it's going to be kept under control because it's going to be a fast rise. Also, that's instant yeast. You buy it by the pound. Less than $2 a pound. And so at this rate, each loaf, this is going to make 2 large loaves. We're talking maybe 50, 60 cents a loaf for excellent healthy bread. Okay, so this is very rough. Now we're going to add some olive oil. This will make it a little, it makes the bread chewy and soft in the middle. But of course on the outside it's going to be double crust. And that rice flour is really going to make a unique texture. So that's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So let's just get a good mix on that. We've got a very wet dough here. And it's going to stay that way for a while. That's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and work the dough. You're going to need a dough scraper, and definitely going to need to put some flour on the board. So let's put some white flour on there. About a half cup. It's going to absorb it all. Oh, one last ingredient, I forgot. I find that putting wet oatmeal, fully cooked oatmeal in it, really adds a lot of moisture and body. So let's go ahead and mix that in. So we have a very rough dough here. Okay, let's see what happens. This is silicone. It's great for bread. The mat is also silicone. Of course, you have to use flour, but not that much. So at this point, it's halfway mixed. And like I said earlier, we're going to let the bread do the work here. We're just going to do a gentle fold, and that's going to mix everything together. And let's just fold over like this. And this is called stretch and fold technique. Stretch it, fold it. This is very wet dough, but that's okay, because we're going to work it. As you can see, there's a lot of nice texture. It's going to make a very nice bread dough. Okay. Now, we add salt to this. We didn't add it right now, but this is a technique where you let it rise first without the salt. It gives the bread a much, much better chance of forming an excellent body. Salt dehydrates and slows down the development of the dough. So let's just roll into a ball that looks like dough. Put a little more flour in there. So right now what we have is a very warm dough. We're just going to let it sit here on the counter for maybe 20-30 minutes, and it's going to develop very rapidly. Again, it's extremely sticky, but that's okay. Let's just let it develop like that. So 20 minutes, and we'll be good to go, and we'll put some salt in there, and then let it rise again for another 20-30 minutes.